Afternoon all, here we are with the T1AK kit, traction engine, that you may recall, I don't know, probably a couple of months since I started, putting a Meccano Ploughing Winch on. The one major rule is not to drill any extra holes in the traction engine, hence the rather, well, almost ugly perhaps, frame. I was watching a video that a chap had posted on about the real thing, and it got me thinking I'll get on with it. So I'll show a bit more detail of the drum itself later on. Currently we're just waiting for it to get up steam. We're running it on meths at the moment. I've had a bit of trouble with the drive band. Elastic band just keeps coming off, but it was about spot on right size where I needed. I've had to increase the size of the pulley here to a 1 inch. I can't do anything about increasing the size of the pulley on the main drive shaft because of the clearance between the frame and the pulley. So what I've done, dare I say it, I've had to drill out that Meccano pulley there to accept the thicker shaft diameter of the traction engine, and to gain grip I've also had to put back, I already removed it. Initially I put the O-ring, which is still on the side there. The trouble was both the elastic band and the spring cord drive band came off. The elastic band came off without that O-ring, so I took it off and it still did the same, and it did the same with the drive band, although normally that spring drive band needs that O-ring to find grip on that sort of pulley. Anyway, the pulley wasn't deep enough and both at the end kept coming off, so remove the O-ring and it seems like it's working, but that was only under my finger pressure. There is very little clearance there between the flywheel. It may catch the band occasionally, but that may also help it stay on the pulley, because that pulley's not very deep either. Anyway, we'll give her a go. We'll just put the drive band on. Here we are, we've got a lumber wagon trailer on. And then, obviously that's connected here. I'll show you more detail in a bit, sorry for the slightly unusual angle. As you can see, it works a treat. Right, now we've changed to the open wagon. I've just got to put the drive belt back on the right way, because being a twist it will change the rotation direction with the belt twisted. So we've now put quite a heavy ceramic mug in it, and we're going to see if that works. It is a little bit fiddly. You have to take, there's no disengagement, you either unscrew one of the pulleys, which would have to be the one on the drive, to rotate freely, to disengage it with the grub screw, undo that, or just take the belt off, which is what I'm doing. So we'll try again. Let's just hope I've got it the right way. Yeah, it seems the right way. That's flat out, and the drive band isn't gripping with that weight. Okay, it's quite a weight though, it's quite a weight for this. I'll work out the ratio of the gear drive and the pulley when I get round to it. Yeah, that's, I don't know, 250 grams maybe. We'll try again. This is heavier than the open wagon, sorry, the lumber wagon. That's, I think, on notch 1 or 2. So there we are. Works okay, as long as the weight isn't too much. So I'll disengage the drive. And I'll put it right back here. hook it up again. It's a bit awkward trying to do this all on your own with nobody in the camera or whatever. Now we put the band back on with a twist to the right of the 1-inch pulley. I'll start it in full speed and then see how we get on. Make sure it's going the right way. That's the trouble, trying to see what's going on. Yeah, okay, here we go. I think we're running out of mess by the time I've got here. Oh no, there we are. My floor is not perfectly level, so doesn't help. Even the string goes on, seems to go on reasonable on the drum. Not perfect, but it's not caught up yet, so that's a good thing. So there we are. We'll give it one more go and we'll again, as I said earlier, I'll show you a bit more detail. There are photographs on in my collections thread. Just running out the cable again. There we go with the hook that's on. This is the first full-on test, really. Started in full speed, seems to like it better. And then also the control to do. Right, here we go, folks. I've already mentioned the problems with the drive bands jumping off. In short, you don't need an O-ring on that 1/2-inch pulley for, in this case anyway, that spring cord drive band to grip. It grips nicely. You can see the O-ring that I've used is on the left hand side there. Anyway, the 1/2-inch pulley drives this 1-inch pulley. If you look here, you'll see there's very little, if anything, in the way of clearance there. Although that may slow it down a little, although as it seems it doesn't seem to bother it. That may also help to keep the drive band on what is a very shallow groove on that pulley. The pulley then drives through a shaft, which is a Meccano axle of course, down to this gear here. I'm trying to think what amount of teeth that's got on that pulley, and the main drive pulley on the drum, as you can see just behind it. I'll find that out and let you know a bit later on. It's been so long since I've put it together now. I think it's a couple of months. I forgot. It might be a 15 and it's either a 15 tooth pinion and the other gear a 57 tooth, or that may be a 60 tooth. But I'll check that and let you know. The string is just household string I got from the range. I've only recently, thanks to Ralph, got a supply of Meccano string, or rather a good reproduction, if you like, a very close match to Meccano string in any decent length. I've got bits, but that's a little later. I did have bits, got quite a bit now. So this, as we've seen, works quite well, so I'll keep with it till it breaks and then we'll try something else maybe. The bottom is a bush wheel. Bottom of the drum there's a bush wheel. And you've got two flat trunnions, one on the top, one on the bottom. There's washers in place to form a bearing of sorts. Frame's made up of strips and a girder plate. That is attached at the bottom. You can see the outside of the one there. That is 5 strips, utilising the holes already in the base of the firebox. It is a bit awkward to fit nuts and bolts into the firebox holes from where the scuttle fits, especially as you have to put washers on because the holes are a bit too big. Can be done with a bit of oil or grease on your finger to keep everything in place while you're doing it. Clearance may be an issue. As you see, it's quite close there, that bottom collar there, holding the roller, if you can call it that. That's fairly close, but it is aided by the fit of these rubber tyres. Although, because it's such a new engine, the wheels are shiny, they do tend to move around a little bit on those wheels. So, simple as the drive shaft turns this pinion, which turns this gear on the drum, and obviously pulls the string back in, or cable as it's supposed to represent. If you need to go the other way, you would just lift off the string and put it round this side and the other way, or indeed in perhaps what is more conventional these days, for a conventional pull, excuse me because I've only got one hand, you could do it from the front. So there you are. Sorry about the shaky video, it's a bit awkward when you've got a few things going on at the same time, but there you go, it does work, and I've managed to get around drilling any extra holes in the Mamod itself, as has been done by somebody else on the forum. I saw a short video a while back. It can be done very simply if you do drill extra holes in the firebox, very simply indeed, and a few bespoke bits. The only thing I'm a bit, I don't know what the word is really, not upset but a bit mithered you might say about, is actually drilling that one Meccano pulley out. But I've no lathe, so I couldn't do one myself. But anyway, it does work, and it works far better than I thought. So we'll when we have a nice day, which today isn't, maybe we'll get outside and do some more work. Perhaps a ploughing match. Of course that would need another engine with the same drum, another excuse to buy another kit I suppose. Of course once it's been done once, it should be easier to do. Although the 1.5 inch square plates there I have no more of, they've been used elsewhere on the other little Meccano devices on engines, the speed controllers. One thing I would say, if you're going to do it like this, the frame which goes all the way up here, goes over the top, down the other side obviously, back underneath, that requires some adjustment to get it right, to get it as straight as possible. There is a benefit to using a belt instead of gears. Gears would be very awkward without bespoke parts to fit into all that lot there in the space provided. And there is a little bit of play in the frame. You might be just saying, oh, it's just a little bit warm. There's a little bit of play there. Not a lot of flex, but of course the belt's able to take that up quite easily, and as we've seen, doesn't seem to bother. So there we go folks, hope you enjoyed that, and I must get on now with the speed controller on the SE2A. Cheers all.